I've been spending lockdown at home with my wife and son Theodore in Battersea, and actually, for the most part, it's been really nice to get to spend a lot of time with my wife and son, both of whom I really like. So I think it's, you know, it's not, I think, especially in times of uncertainty, a lot of people kind of turn to doom and gloom. It's really not my attitude. I think right from the very start, we've looked at this as an opportunity to spend more time together than we ordinarily would. I absolutely love my wife. She's my best friend, and it's kind of, in a strange way, without all the economic uncertainty, life seems quite normal, other than the fact that I'm not in the office. Obviously, I have a startup business that I spend an awful lot of time working on, and ordinarily I'd be in the office kind of every day all the time, but I wouldn't choose to spend my evenings any differently to how I am now ordinarily. So it's not, especially with the weather. Don't know if you've seen, but it's like Caribbean roasting out there. So all good. I don't find it hard, no, to be at home with the people that I love. In fact, you know, we get on better than ever. I find it very funny when people are saying kind of, oh, you know, I'm really getting to know my wife or whatever. I'd like to think that I knew her quite well before. And obviously we have a second child on the way. So being able to be around all the time for my wife is great, because obviously there would be that degree of guilt if I was in the office working all the time, leaving my pregnant wife at home on her own with Theodore probably wouldn't be ideal. So it's great that I'm here to, hopefully she would agree, assist and pick up pieces where she can't. So it's been fine. I've enjoyed, obviously, you know, it's banged on a while now. I think when life goes back to normal, that will be welcome. But no, all in all, we're very happy and doing fine. Thank you. Well, thank God they kept the parks open, because that, honestly, that would have been really tricky. With a son who's 2 in September, he loves fresh air. He's a bit of an adventurer. He likes being out, you know. So we've got him his tricycle and this and that. And if he was confined to just the apartment, it would be a nightmare. But obviously, we live right next to Battersea Park, so I get to go running almost every day. We've got some weights at the house. You know, my kind of training regime has changed a lot over the years. I do a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but obviously can't during lockdown, given that rolling with people would break government advice. But I miss that, I suppose. But otherwise, there's all sorts of body weight stuff you can do a lot of press ups, you know, do the occasional sit up. I don't do too many sit ups, don't know why I said sit ups, but you know, you can do a lot of body weight stuff. And I love running. I've always loved running. So for me, having Battersea Park next door is like a godsend. You know, just lace up and do a couple of laps, come back, you know, jobs are good. And hopefully you can see that actually it's quite well done. I don't know if you're able to see that. I did it myself, and it was not very well done. It was, you know, there was the odd tuft all over the place, and the beard's getting a bit long and out of control. My wife has officially declared this morning that she no longer enjoys kissing me, so this is going to go. But no, it's good fun. I had her actually help with the sides. Darren Kennedy, an Irish guy, gave me some advice on how to fade. I think I've done a pretty good job, if I'm honest. But yeah, being a skinhead is fantastic, isn't it? I like I've done it before. Jamie and I shaved our heads for Hunted, and when I was a bit younger, I shaved my head. But it's just like no effort whatsoever. Like when I had more hair, I was a little bit thin on the back, so I was a bit apprehensive to shave my head, because I thought actually I'll just be advertising the fact that I'm slowly going bald. But actually, it looks okay, and I'm quite happy with it. And it's super easy. I mean, you get in the shower, get out. Thanks a lot. Like, you know, no hair products. It's really nice actually. And I think I look a mixture of quite hard and also a bit serious, which is great because it suits me. What's lockdown made me grateful for? I suppose it's made me grateful that I'm sober. My sobriety is kind of coming to light more and more at the moment. Lockdown is a time when me 2 years ago, I would have just been hammered the whole time, because it's very easy to push off your responsibility during lockdown, or appear to be uh, not lazy, but it's easy to have nothing on, isn't it, during lockdown? So if you wanted to shift your stuff into a different category, you are able to do that with a kind of adequate excuse. And I had a streak of laziness in me prior to going sober, so I suspect I would have been drinking quite heavily. I would have kicked most of my responsibilities into next week. I wouldn't have been. I'm not proclaiming myself as being pleasant to be around, but I'm certainly more pleasant to be around now, I'm sure, than I would have been had I been tucking into the booze during lockdown. So I am grateful that I've made the decision to drastically change my relationship with alcohol prior to lockdown. And actually, it's given me a chance to be really, I believe, positively vocal about changing your relationship with alcohol if you want to. This is a very touchy subject when no one likes to be told that they drink too much. But we saw a 700% increase in clean gin sales from March to April, largely due to the fact that I think that when lockdown began, a lot of people drank to excess to kind of mask the stress of uncertainty going forwards. And I think we were there at a really great time to be able to show people and educate people that there are other ways of drinking, and really find alternatives and replacements to alcohol during these times. And I would never wish coronavirus on anyone, but for business, actually, it's been really interesting for us to rein in marketing spend and reassess the way we use language. And for us, it's worked really well. So it's been an interesting time, actually. But my sobriety I value, and also just getting to spend loads of time with my son, and obviously really feeling a part of my wife's second pregnancy has been, because we're obviously together all the time. So I feel more in this one than last time. So it's all very nice. Obviously, building a family is a very beautiful thing, and it certainly feels that way for us. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've always wanted the business to be more of an off-trade retail grocery business. We aim to be the no and low spirit in every household, which it can only really be achieved through retail and direct consumer channels. So for us, retail obviously being widely unaffected, and I mean supermarket grocers. If anything, they're trading up than they were before, because I think your average family was spending an extra £56 a week or something not too long ago across the UK in supermarkets. Obviously, I wouldn't necessarily say that our project was an essential buy, but it certainly made us think differently. Also, a lot of our competition who are on buses and billboards and through an enormous spend at marketing just before coronavirus have obviously been very negatively affected by the fact that nobody's out and about and can see that marketing. So we're glad that we were so early growth that we didn't go down that route quite yet. But also we're asking ourselves questions as to, how relevant that is. And is the education piece better done through social media channels and through the internet, and being able to speak directly with your consumer, something that we've been doing a lot of on lives and answering, and just really being on top of the consumer, creating products that they want, polling products against other products, stuff that we probably wouldn't have done had we not been in lockdown. And it's really great to have such positive feedback. Also, fortunately, distilleries and breweries, etc., were widely unaffected, given the staff can still work at a distance. So a lot of breweries weren't closed, a lot of distilleries weren't closed. So we've been able to actually develop and launch products in lockdown without the additional spend of what a huge marketing surge might look like behind that product, or a big summer party. Or actually, we're finding, we've sold 800 bottles of clean rum in the last 2 days. I wouldn't have thought that was possible without a huge marketing push and without appearing on morning television and really ramming it down people's throats as such. But it just turns out that, it's right place, right time kind of stuff. And it does make you question, spend going forwards. What's essential, what's not essential. And I'm sure there's plenty more fat to be trimmed in terms of our kind of P&L and what that might look like. The best thing I've watched during lockdown is probably the Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary. I just think it's fantastic. I mean, what a guy he is. Unbelievable. Like, just crazy. And it's almost annoying. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I struggle to touch the rim of a basketball hoop. I'm not the world's tallest guy, but like, these guys are like jumping and they're dunking it in their heads over the rim, and they're like, putting the ball in the basket like that. I just think the athleticism's crazy. I mean, I love sport anyway, but Michael Jordan, I mean, what a guy. It's so easy as well throughout the course of his career to get tripped up doing something awful somewhere, just nothing. The guy's he's like a superhuman. And by the way, if he wants to gamble, let him gamble. God, like, what's all this stuff surrounding his gambling habit? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, but I've enjoyed. We've obviously been watching more television than we ordinarily would, just because at a certain time of the day, when Theodore goes to bed, TV comes on. It's nice. Peppa Pig is on at times. I mean, as far as a kids program goes, I quite like Peppa Pig. I'm not opposed to it. A lot of them are just total nonsense, but like Peppa Pig, I feel really teaches the kids something. They're all morally really in tune. They're all really friendly. They're always up to something interesting. I don't mind Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig. Miss Rabbit, she's a hustler. Do you know what I mean? She's got like 9 jobs. I actually weirdly can't find the book that was on my bedside. I read Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, which is fantastic. Great story. I mean, I don't know anyone that doesn't own a pair of Nikes, so read that if you're into it. And I'm reading a really interesting book on business actually at the moment, which I'd like to find because embarrassingly, I can't remember the name of it. It's got a really weird long name, and I'm about 3 pages in, so I should know the name of it, but I'll send it to you. But Phil Knight is great. But I have to say, at the moment, the business is going well. So we are constantly working on it. So in the evening, it is nice to just kind of unwind. My wife gives me a fun degree of kind of health, always talking about business at the moment. So reading a business book, it's probably her who's burnt it. She's probably thrown it out. Do you know what I mean? It's very strange that it's not on my bedside table. It's called Blitzling or something like that. I think come the evening, it's nice to just relax. And my wife loves the Kardashians, loves them. It's not. I have a lot of respect and appreciation for the brand that they've built and stuff. And I see everything as a business. This is a problem for me. I don't see that as a show. I don't see it as real. I don't see anything as real anymore. I just see it as numbers and business, and I couldn't be more impressed with them as a business family. I think it's incredible, but I can't for the life of me understand why anyone would care about anyone's day-to-day life, which is odd, obviously, considering I've done lots of reality television. But I can't for the life of me understand why anyone would watch reality TV. I don't get it. When things return to normal, I am looking forward to being kind of in the office more regularly and feeding off energy in the team. It's quite difficult we have this huge amount of momentum behind us at Clean Liquor at the moment, but ultimately we'll have even more when we're all in an office together and we're able to solve problems faster because we're opposite each other. And, like I thrive off challenges. And at the moment you get emails and then you call people and you do Zooms and you're kind of working through problems that I would rather be working through in person. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to getting back on the mats for jiu-jitsu. I love jiu-jitsu. I don't know if you've ever rolled before. It's like, when I get into stuff, I really get into it. And I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about 9 months now. And I love it. I just think as a way of life, it's really good for staying calm. And I love the belt system, the progression. Like the longer you do it, the better you become. and the more you learn, and there's a huge amount of respect in jiu-jitsu. There's no ego at all, like you don't beat each other up, you tap. Obviously it's a submission sport, so getting tapped, you almost learn. Anyway, I could talk for hours about jiu-jitsu, but I'm a big jiu-jitsu fan. I miss that a lot. But otherwise, I'm sure lots of people will be saying, oh, they can't wait to get out, they can't wait to go to bars and pubs and restaurants. And I just think, that kind of chapter of my life is really shut. I'd like to go away. That would be nice, with my wife. So I suppose when everything eases up, I might fly over to Jersey with the family, see my sister and her family. But yeah, life's very different for me now, mate. It's all work and a little bit of play and my family, and that's about it. But that excites me now, So it's not. I don't feel like my hands are tied at all. I'm loving every minute of life, lockdown or not. I would like people to be less dependent on social media. I find social media a really interesting marketing tool. That's it. I don't think it's helpful for kids. I don't like the way young girls want to look like supermodels and change their appearance at young ages. I find that the message of social media of kind of be fake, it's okay to be fake, and show people stuff that's not real, it bothers me. Actually, I find social media to be really, really vacuous, really ego driven. Like, people are insane about followers and engagement, and I don't really understand it. Like, I preferred the world where if you're a talented television presenter, you'll end up being a TV presenter, and people know you in the street, and that's the job you've chosen. I just feel like now everyone's so in touch and so exposed, and actually lockdown's made it worse, right? Because like we're all in constant touch. Nowadays I don't need your phone number to send you a message to your phone, right? Like, I find that to be quite invasive, and like I get a lot of lovely messages all the time. Like, no one's horrible to me online, but I just think everyone's too in touch with each other, and I just think it's causing a lot of stress on some people's mental health, and I find that to be a shame. I think people should worry more about themselves and those close to them, and their work and being happy. And I just think there's so much negativity out there, and people do just genuinely get drowned by it, and it's like it's a fugazi. It doesn't matter, it's not real. So I feel that the younger generation in particular are being very negatively affected by social media. So that's what I would change about the world if I could, but something tells me it's going to be around for a while.